I dated 8 guys at once. They all saw me as a substitute, but I didn't care, as long as the money kept coming. They were all my darlings. Later, they discovered each other's existence and they were furious. I'm a master of time management. I've been dating 8 guys simultaneously for 3 months. None of them have discovered the other's existence. They all think they're the one I love most. They often feel troubled and annoyed by my affection towards them. And they've repeatedly warned me to know my place and not harbor unrealistic hopes. The only unrealistic hopes I have are for their money. My first boyfriend, Jack Thompson, is a wealthy CEO, but he's quite high maintenance. He likes to roleplay office scenarios. Every date, he requires me to wear a white dress and pretend to be his secretary. During lunch breaks, I even have to play the piano for him. He's so pretentious, but his combination of stupidity and wealth is irresistible. For our lunch date today, I followed his instructions. I wore a white dress, light makeup, and long straight hair as I waited in his office. When he returned from a meeting, he frowned immediately. He looked at me, his substitute, with disgust. Trying to imitate her appearance won't change anything. You still can't compare to a single hair on her head. I smiled politely. As long as you're happy. This idiot is so dramatic. Isn't this exactly what he asked for? Hearing my response, his gaze grew even colder. Who knows what he imagined in his head said to me, "I've warned you before. Don't fall for me. I'll only ever love her." All right, I get it. You have your true love. I pinched myself, walked to the piano with reddened eyes, and played an awkward tune for him. Halfway through, he stood up angrily, looking disappointed. He said, "This is unbearable." As expected, no matter how similar a fake may look, it's still fake. He left in the middle of our date. At the same time, $200,000 was deposited into my account. I wiped away fake tears and called out to his retreating back, "Jack Thompson, I don't want your dirty money." As expected, he turned back with a look of disgust. He said coldly, "Remember, there will only ever be a financial relationship between us." Then he angrily transferred another $500,000 to me. Oh wow, how rebellious. I like it. After parting with Jack, I rushed to meet the next one. With 8 men to juggle, even a time management expert like me stays quite busy. My second boyfriend, Ethan Brooks, is a university professor. Today, he asked me out shopping at the mall. He picked out dozens of outfits and had me try them on one by one. I spent the whole afternoon changing clothes, exhausted. But I still forced a sweet smile and said, "Ethan, are all these clothes for me? You're so good to me. I love every piece." I happily reached out to hold his arm, but he stood up abruptly, his face darkening as he avoided my hand. He frowned and said with disgust, "I've told you before, I hate anyone but her touching me." Then he checked his watch and asked the staff to pack up all the clothes. He said to me, "I have to go. I've transferred you some money. Buy whatever clothes you like, but don't buy anything matching hers. I hate seeing others wear the same clothes as her. And don't message or call me unnecessarily. I'm very busy." With that, he turned and left. At the same time, $200,000 was deposited into my account. Yes, all 8 of my boyfriends are the same. Although they pay me to date them, we just eat, chat, and shop together. They're determined to save their purity for their true loves. They won't even let me touch their hands. This is exactly how I like it. After Ethan left, I checked my schedule. My next appointment was with boyfriend number 3, Ryan Chen, a nouveau riche guy who wears giant gold chains and fur coats. His face isn't bad, but his taste is terrible. Ryan was tired of being a backup option. Today, he offered me $1 million to have dinner with him and his crush. When I arrived, he asked me, "You know what to do later, right?" Considering the $1 million paycheck, I nodded obediently. After this job, I'll have enough savings to retire and get out of here. I suppressed my excitement and said softly, "Ryan, I understand. I'll perform well later to make your crush jealous. Once you two get together, I'll leave quietly and won't get in your way." Hearing this, Ryan suddenly glared at me angrily, looking very dis. "You don't want to be with me. Oh crap." I got carried away for a moment. After 3 months as a substitute, I know exactly how these stupid men operate. I quickly pinched myself, lowered my head, and said with reddened eyes, "How could that be? I don't want to leave you. Ryan, if you have any feelings for me at all, please don't make me go. I won't interfere with you two. I just want to quietly stay by your side." This response hit the mark. Ryan's expression softened a bit, but he still said in an annoyed impossible, "My heart will always belong to her. I'll give you $2 million today. If you know what's good for you, don't show your face in front of me again after this is over." I nodded reluctantly. "I understand. Stupid man. So hi. Ma." Ryan put his arm around me as we arrived at the private room where we were meeting his crush. When we opened the door, there was a moment of stunned silence. We found ourselves face to face with not just Ryan's crush, but my other 7 boyfriends as well. I was dumbfounded. I never imagined that the true love of all 8 of my boyfriends was the same person. This girl looked about 80 to 90% similar to me, just like how I usually dress up. She wore a white dress, had long straight hair past her shoulders, and big, watery eyes. She looked delicate and fragile. No wonder they often seemed lost in thought while looking at my face. While I was still in shock, the gazes of all 7 boyfriends landed on me. No, more accurately, on Ryan's hand around my waist. They all had dark expressions, looking at me with angry glares. Their eyes seemed ready to kill. The girl looked at Ryan's hand on my waist with a slight start. Then her eyes reddened as a sad expression crossed her face. She asked timidly, "Ryan, is this your new girlfriend?" After she said this, the 7 boyfriends' glares at us grew even more furious. Ryan, ever the backup, melted at the sight of his crush's teary face. He completely forgot our carefully planned scheme. He forcefully pushed me away, immediately distancing himself. "No, I don't know her." I stumbled and fell to the ground, but no one paid me any attention. The girl broke into a smile through her tears. She grabbed the hands of the 2 men on either side of her, tilting her head innocently. "Don't always fight over me, you goo. Didn't we agree before? I'll never get a boyfriend in this lifetime, so the 9 of us can stay together forever as best friends." I got up awkwardly. I saw the 8 boyfriends glaring at each other in annoyance, then looking at the girl with doting expressions. It was quite a harmonious scene. I stared at this tableau in bewilderment. How is this okay? I suddenly felt that I may not have fully grasped the essence of this situation before. The girl's name was Sophia Lynn. She grew up as childhood friends with these 8 men. Although she's the same age as me, she's completely different from an orphan like me, who grew up without parents in an orphanage. She's the daughter of the Lynn group, a little princess who grew up pampered and spoiled. That night, Ryan transferred me $5 million as compensation for PO pushing me down. After sending the money, he come have dinner with Sophia and me this weekend. We messed up this time. He even started blaming me. "Why didn't you cling to me when I pushed you away? Do better next time. Got it?" After receiving the money, I blocked him without a word. Along with him, I blocked the other 7 boyfriends too. "Sorry, boys. I've made enough money. This lady is done serving you." On the 3rd day, 8 luxury cars were parked outside my rented apartment. I was buying chicken at the market at the time. Just as I finished weighing my purchase, my landlady, Mrs. Lynn, came running over in a panic. She told me anxiously, "Olivia, it's terrible. 8 men came looking for you, all claiming to be your boyfriend. Now you better go take a look. It's getting violent. There's blood." When I returned with my chicken, I indeed saw my 8 ex-boyfriends. They all looked disheveled and bruised, still fighting each other. I stared in shock. Why weren't these guys standing by for their goddesses' beck and call? What were they doing here? How unlucky. I covered my face, preparing to sneak back home. But Jack Thompson spotted me. He coldly said, "Olivia Clark, explain yourself. What's the deal with these other 7? As soon as Jack finished speaking, the others all stopped fighting and angrily turned to look at me. They were still frozen in poses of grabbing each other's ties and arms. Holding my chicken, I felt slightly awkward. I pinched myself, then said with Redden, "Stop fighting. Don't fight over me anymore." Good. This time I learned from Sophia Lynn's playbook, but it didn't work. They still glared at me furiously. Their expressions were even fiercer than when Ryan had his arm around me that day. They all looked like they'd been utterly betrayed. Ryan Chen's gold chains had been yanked off. He forcefully let go of Ethan Brooks across from him and yelled angrily, "Olivia Clark, you dare cheat on me." Ethan Brooks straightened his tie. With a dark expression, he said, "You found 7 other men behind my back." Impressive. Boyfriend, no. 4 wiped blood from the corner of his mouth and said through gritted teeth, "I've never been played like this before." "Well done, Olivia Clark. Claiming to love me while juggling 8 guys behind my back? You think I'm an idiot? Boyfriend, nah." 5 was the most badly beaten. With 2 black eyes, he screamed at me hysterically, "Olivia Clark, tell me, out of us 8, who do you really love? Wait, weren't you all getting along fine in front of Sophia Lynn? Why are you making such a fuss over a substitute like me? This doesn't make sense." So I tried imitating Sophia Lynn's style. Teary-eyed and emotional, I tentatively said, "You're all my best friends and you all have the closest relationship with me. From now on, don't ask who I love most. In my eyes, you're all equally important to me. Even if I have a child some, you'll all be the child's godfathers. Turn your open competition into secret care. Take care of me. Take care of our child. Let the child be the happiest in the world. Loved by 8 dads. Wouldn't that be nice?" After I finished speaking, I looked at them with tear-filled eyes. Then I saw all 8 ex-boyfriends with expressions like they'd just eaten shit. Okay, this time I hit the mark. Ethan Brooks looked at me with disgust like he was looking at a lunatic. "You think you're worthy of being my backup?" "Dream on," Jack Thompson said coldly. "You've been a substitute too long and started thinking you're the real deal. I'm warning you, don't try to play games with me." Everything was going well. But then a traitor appeared among them. Ryan Chen lifted his chin and said condescendingly, "You begged me before wanting to stay by my side forever. Fine, I'll agree now. As long as you cut ties with them from now on, I can forgive your past transgressions." As soon as he finished speaking, everyone else turned to glare coldly at Ryan Chen. They seemed ready to gang up on him. The craziest one, boyfriend number 5, had a different thought process. His way of grasping the key points was quite unique. He had a thunderstruck expression. "You're pregnant. Whose is it?" The moment boyfriend number 5 uttered the word, pregnant, time froze. The frozen chicken I was holding nearly slipped from the plastic bag as 8 battered, bloodied men stared at me like I was some mythical creature. Jack's glare was the sharpest. "Is it true, Olivia? Are you pregnant?" "What? No, of course not," I snapped, but it was too late. The seed of suspicion had been planted. "She did say that," Ethan muttered, shocked. "She said, 'You'll all be the godfathers of my child.'" "It was a metaphor," I shouted. "Poetic. Dramatic. Like everything about me." Ryan stepped forward, eyes glistening. "If it's mine, I swear I'll leave everything behind for you." I took a step back. "You're all insane." Boyfriend number 7, the doctor, pulled a small test kit from his pocket. "I have a rapid test. We'll clear this up right now." "You carry that in your pocket?" "Preventative medicine," he said seriously. This was no longer my life. This was a surreal nightmare with dramatic background music. And just as I considered running away, a familiar figure stepped onto the scene. Watching calmly from the corner of the street was none other than Sophia Lynn. Sophia's presence was like pouring kerosene on an already raging fire. The moment the 8 idiots saw her, they instantly returned to lapdog mode. "Sophia, are you okay? Do you need an ambulance? A helicopter?" Sophia, with calm and teary eyes, whispered, "Olivia, how could you?" And just like that, I became the official villain. 8 pairs of furious, betrayed eyes turned to me. "You're all insane. This is your fault. I was just earning some cash pretending to be her discount version." But no one was listening. Sophia let a single tear fall. That was enough. They turned on me again. "You're running away?" Jack asked. "Of course I am." I jumped on my electric scooter and took off. They followed. It was like a budget action movie. Me on my little scooter, frozen chicken swinging from the handle, and 8 luxury cars speeding after me. A tourist filmed the entire thing thinking it was a viral prank. Within 30 minutes, the video was trending. Pregnant woman escapes her 8 possible baby daddies in epic street chase. And that's how the story reached the ears of the one person we hadn't expected to notice. Sophia's father, Richard Lynn. 2 days later, I was summoned to a dinner at the Lynn mansion. The official reason? A reconciliation. The real reason? An emotional firing squad with Sophia at the head. All 8 boyfriends were present, dressed like they were attending a funeral. Sophia sat at the center of the table, glowing and tragic. I arrived in the same outfit from the scooter chase. I hadn't had time to do laundry. "Let's clear this up," Sophia said softly. "Olivia, are you pregnant?" "No." "Are you sure?" "Absolutely." Ryan clutched his chest. "But you said you wanted us all to be the baby's fathers." "It was irony, Ryan." That's when Richard Lynn himself entered the room, tall, gray-haired, and radiating power. He looked at me, then at the 8 men. "Are these all Sophia's boyfriends?" Sophia looked down, trembling. "Dad, they're not my boyfriends. They're my brothers." A stunned silence fell across the room. "What?" "I found out recently. Each of their mothers had an affair with you. I ran the tests." All 8 men turned pale. "You're all half-brothers," Sophia whispered, "and you've spent your lives fighting over me." I nearly fell off my chair. After dinner, Sophia asked to speak privately in the garden. She looked ethereal and broken, staring up at the moon. "You knew, didn't you?" she asked. "Knew what?" "That they were brothers?" "Of course not. I just knew they were stupid." She chuckled, but her eyes were still red. "I thought I was in control," she murmured, "but they were blind. To me, and to you." I frowned. "To me?" "You were my shadow. The commercial version of me. The one they could afford. But in the end, you became more important than me. Because you were... possible." I didn't know what to say. "And now?" I asked. "Now. They can't love me anymore. Not me. Not you." "That's over," I laughed. "No, they'll find a way. They're addicted to the drama, and once they realize they can't have you, they'll crawl back to me." Sophia looked me in the eyes. "Then prepare yourself, Olivia, because the cycle is about to start again, and this time there might be more than 8. That night I received an anonymous message. "If you tell them about the real child, I will destroy everything you've built." The next morning, I was dragged to a luxury clinic by Jack. All 8 of them were there. "We're going to get answers, pregnancy test, DNA test, everything." "I told you, I'm not pregnant." "What about that nausea yesterday?" "I ate expired sushi." The doctor entered with a clipboard and led us to the collection room. Ethan insisted on supervision. Ryan tried to hold my hand. Boyfriend number 4 was silently crying in the corner. 1 hour later, the tests were done. Results in 24 hours. That night, another message. You know who the real father is. Stay quiet, or it all ends. For the first time, I started to doubt myself. What if there was a baby? What if someone had played me just as I played them? The clinic was full. 8 ex-boyfriends, Sophia, Richard Lynn, and me. The doctor held an envelope. First, Miss Olivia Clark is not pregnant. A collective gasp. Some looked relieved, others crushed. Boyfriend number 5 collapsed. I already picked a name. But, the doctor added, we discovered something shocking. Everyone leaned in. 5 of you, Jack, Ethan, Ryan, boyfriend number 5, and number 7, share a rare genetic compatibility with Miss Clark. Not as potential fathers, but as siblings. Total silence. Repeat that, Jack said. You're half-brothers. Same father, Mr. Richard Lynn. Screams. Fainting. Someone threw a chair. Richard just sighed. I was young. You were a monster, Ethan shouted. Sophia sat motionless, tears on her cheeks. So we're all brothers, Ryan mumbled. Not me, boyfriend number 8 said proudly. I tested clean. No relation, I'm free. Everyone turned to him. Sophia blinked. You're all hers now, she said, pointing to me. I looked at Sophia. I don't want any of them. I'm moving to another country. Maybe open a noodle stand in Thailand. She laughed. And while the rest of them either cried, screamed, or ran from their psychological incest scandal, I quietly slipped away. In my pocket was a letter. Dear Olivia, if this madness ever ends and you want something real, come find me. Boyfriend number 8. I smiled and tossed the letter into the trash.